Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day, the recitation. Tanasari Mahalla Panjwa ab Har Rakhanhar Chitaria Patit Puneet Kiye Khin Bhitar Sagla Rok Bidarea Rahao गोष्ठ भई साध के संग में काम क्रोध लोभ मारया सिमर सिमर पूर्ण नारायण संगी सगले तारया औखद मंत्र मूल मन एक मन विश्वास प्रभ धारया चरण रेण बाछे नित नानक पुनः पुनः बलिहारया. Rather short Shabad. अब हर राखन हार चितारिया पतित पुनीत किए खिन भीतर. Ab. Now, the word ab has multiple connotations. It usually means to sound out now. But it also means glowing, radiant. And my sense is that ab har rakhanhar actually means the radiant har, the preserver har. And it can be used with that double meaning. So I have translated it as now my mind turned towards the radiant preserver har. I've used ab in both senses. And what happened? In a flash of insight, the corrupted, fragmented mind, the manmukh, was uplifted, was made whole. Patit puneet kiye kin bhitar. It was in a flash. All my afflictions were uprooted, the Guru says. Sagla rog bidarya. That's the central message. Turning one's consciousness results in upliftment. And now here are some of the conditions that cause that to happen and which are necessary. Gosht bhai. Gosht means a dialogue, a narrative, especially a discourse on spiritual matters. Gosht bhai. So there was a dialogue. Sadh ke sangam. Sangam comes from sang, with the sadh, with the awakened being. Here usually a reference to the Guru. Gosht bhai sadh ke sangam. Kam krodh lobh marya. My passions, lust, anger, greed, marya, not killed in the physical sense, but transmutation. They're transforming. That same energy that expresses itself as kam, krodh, lobh becomes virtue. And how did that happen? Gosht bhai sadh ke sangam. A dialogue ensued. And what did I do? As a result of this dialogue, simar simar puran narayan. Through continuous simran, I will talk about simran in a minute, upon the perfect Narayan, the Supreme Being. Sangi sagle tariya, all my companions were carried across. Now here, the question is, who are these companions? Are they your physical companions in the outside world? And the answer is most likely not. It is pointing to the inner world, and the companions here are the senses. They become partners. They don't drag you down a different path. They listen. That's the transformation that occurs. Aukhad mantra mool man eka. Mantra is that word syllable that is given to the seeker. The Guru says it is the remedy. That was the remedy which unified the mind with its source. Mool man eka. In other words, everything is within the mind. Man biswas prabh tareya. Unwavering trust in the prab is a necessary condition. Charanaren Bashenit Nanak. Nanak speaks as the fifth Guru, seeking forever the dust of the Guru's teachings. Charanaren Bashenit Nanak. Punaha, punaha, balihari. Punaha is repetition, again and again. I am beholden to the Guru. So, one of the things that I'm trying to do is not to directly translate words like Simran, Narayan, or Prab, because the idea is that the reader should be able to experience the meaning through repeated usage, because these words are used repeatedly in different contexts. And it would be useful for the listener, for the reader who reads the text, to understand the word's semantic range, because it has a range. It's not just one word. There is no one equivalent English word that could describe Simran, or Narayan for that matter, or Prab for that matter. So we are going to continue to use our commentary to explore the semantic range. For instance, Har, Prab, it could be used to denote the creative principle of life, the vital force, the eminent divinity within you, the self that pervades everything, the essence. So it is all going to depend on the context. So in this Shabad, the ego, which embodies the passions are the cause of our existential unease or disease. Sagala rog di jad is the ego. And this arises because being in an ego state implies being fallen, patit, degraded. The ego is corrupt. It's been corrupted by matter, if you will. So the Guru says, when I reflected upon the radiant and protective presence of the Har, this is presence, Har Rakhanhar Chitaria, I received a flash of insight that transformed me. So when we turn towards the source, its protective and preservative power restores the mind. And this insight can come in a flash, kinabhitar. It's like lighting a matchstick. You immediately have a flame, but it'll still take time to burn out the wood completely. So similarly, the Guru's instruction is like that light of inner fire, but it takes a process and it takes a practice to consume the wood of the passions. And this process is called Simran in Gurbani, literally meaning remembrance. But traditionally, Simran has been associated with the japa, mental repetition of a mantra, a word syllable. But Gurmat has borrowed words from existing traditions, but invested them with broader meaning, as it has with Simran. Simran in Gurmat does not imply simply repeating a word, although that practice is included. It means gnosis, or direct experiential realization, an experience that transforms the consciousness, as the Guru has indicated in the first verse, that when I turned my mind to the Har, I had a transforming experience. So the emphasis shifts away in Gurmat from simply ritual rote repetition of a word syllable to inner experience. Here, Simran includes association, sangat, it includes dialogue, gosht. It means a mental practice, unwavering optimism. So it transmutes the passions, doesn't try to kill them, which a lot of other traditions try to. And the mind itself is that field of healing. Everything is happening in the mind. The mind is the medicine. The mind is the mantra. And the mind is the cause and the solution. All resides in the mind. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।